All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is the lead in the world of man. There is someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a toy. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You remember all the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is the lead in the world of man. There's a place that is waiting for you. A world where the best in life is free, where time is always free, happiness is key. The dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're a man. All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is the lead in the world of man.
Yes, indeed. Good Lord. Good Lord. Have you ever seen anything like it? Now, look, just in case you're relatively new around here, a brief history. There's a scent that a lot of scrubs actually own. I've got some. I'm down to my last centimetre, and my missus prefers it to all the pricey Soho stuff I racked up when I had a few quid. It smells like your dad in 1978. You know, it's just like the perfumer or whatever it's called. If anyone knows, I'd like to know. What's that person called? A sentier or something? They went in and they had a look at all the different scents that they could use to mix it. And there was one that just said 1970s dad England. And they just went, yeah, that's it. It's like, anyway, Charles Bronson has made about 5 adverts, and they're like mini films. Like, they're not just sort of, mandam, it's a scent that'll make the women love you. No, he's like coming home, you know, takes off his bow tie, takes off his, you know, his what do they call it, cummerband? Is it Ernabach Cumberbatch? You know, rides horses, shoots guns, turns to the camera like James Bond, but instead of a shooter, he's got his mandam. And the Japanese love it. This is contemporary. This isn't like 70s. And that's why there's lots of covers of Japanese covers of Mandom, which is lyrically a ridiculous song. I mean, let me just give you the first couple of lines. All the world loves a lover. All the world loves a lover in every world, in every landom. And that's there just because then the next line, it can rhyme with mandom. I mean, landom, no. I'm not there, you know. What landom are you from? I mean, maybe from now on, you know, when people ask me, I go, you're asking where I live or what landom I'm from? Land from would make more sense, wouldn't it? In every land from. I just needed to do this because I think it might be the record of the Zeitgeist has been on the firm for 53 months. But I know people have left and joined again because financial issues, me saying the channel ended, me nearly dying, and all these, the joys of YouTubing. But I think correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I think that's the highest and much appreciated. Zeitgeist, appreciate the faith you've always had in me. Just forgot to cancel. But nice one. I know I'll see Jimmy in the chat when it's a call-in show. Wakes him up, jumps up. Just 4 cups of coffee. Let's go. Good to see you, James. I found his brother's channel, by the way. I said I'd promote it, but I forgot what it is now. He might be able to do that tonight anyway. I also it's always nice to see everyone. Nice to see Broken Silence. Been a while, son. Maybe it hasn't. I just haven't seen you. We'll get the grifting out of the way. You got Entropy and Buy Me a Coffee at the top of the stream. I do see the Buy Me a Coffees come through. Pack, was that you? I answered one of them saying I forgot what this is. Is it you? I don't know. If not, that's yeah. Oh, I've just given the game away. The boy's here, of course. So that's weird. I forgot that because I can see him down there. I didn't get to click my fingers now. We'll do it again. And guess what, people? Just when you thought it was just going to be me, the host of the most is actually here. Yeah, boy. How are you, son?
Hello. All right.
Cracking stream yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, fun.
I think you beat a record there. I think there was a good 35 minutes of you said absolutely nothing. It was quite remarkable. I mean, for someone like me who has the opposite problem, it's just. I remember when I was at school and there was this kid and you could tell that he was a bit odd. He had a briefcase at school, and he'd walk around the school with a briefcase, right? Oh yeah, handcuffed to his wrist. All right. Did you check any out at all? I told Packer to have a look at comedian Mitch Hedberg yesterday. Anyone in the chat knows and likes Mitch Hedberg, let me know. I'd be interested. He's up there in my favourite sort of top 3 comedians. He's not for everyone. Spanish Chicken's on the firm. Zeitgeist is here.
I was on about the kid with the briefcase. We had one at our school. I thought every school had one.
Oh, okay. That's a thing, is it? Special K is here.
So. You had the kid with the briefcase. You had the kid that lived with their grandparents because you could smell it.
Yeah.
And you had the kid
we called the two. Sorry, there's a nuance here. You can't get a word in, can you? Sorry, you mentioned this before. So, no, go on.
No, and then the other one's the kid with the one leg shorter than the other. Funny shoe.
He's got a librarian shoe on. There's a slight nuance in the kid who lives with his grandparents. There's the kid with the really old parents. When they come to parents' evening and you think it's their grandparents and they've got an older brother who you think's their dad and all that sort of thing. We had a couple of them. No, I wasn't aware that was an 80s trope. Anyway, one day I sort of just chanced to chat with this fella and sort of said, "Oh, what do you make of this place? Like, you don't seem to be part of the crowd." Now, obviously, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember the gist of the conversation. And he said to me, "I've got the same problem as you." He didn't say that, but that's what he was getting at. He said, "You're always there, and you're always sort of showing, or not showing off, but performing." But he didn't say performing. I'm not pretending we sat down and had this sort of Socratic dialogue. But he said, "You're loud, and everyone listens to you." He said, "And I'm silent." And it was the first time that I think it was probably the first time I realised that made us quite similar. Forget the briefcase; that was a bit of a red herring. But I've said this before in this stream, but there were certainly times it was worse. It was the worst time was my late teens, early 20s, pretty much after my dad died, where it would be exhausting to go out with a bunch of mates to the boozer because I could not be quiet. I couldn't just enjoy having a chat, watching a footy maybe. it would just be me going for it, talking. And, you know, I'd get home and I'd be just tired from mental exhaustion. And what motivated that was the same as what motivated this geezer's silence and this geezer's sort of pulling out of society. It's the same thing, you know, fears, need to be, you know, fear of not being liked, fear of not being wanted. They're all the same. But he manifested it by not risking it. Let's just not get involved. I can control that. Whereas with me, it was like just volume and quantity. I can control that, and no one's gonna talk me down. I mean, I can think of like 2 or 3 times in my whole life where someone actually caught me out, and it was shocking. You know, just absolutely nailed what was going on, and I had to sort of accept it and say, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm very uncomfortable in this situation.
That's awful. Yeah, someone points out your weakness in front of everyone.
It's awful, but these are the moments these are the moments that you live for, because without them, you're going to be dragging that shit around for years and years and years. It's a funny old game, isn't it? I earlier on this evening, I was still going through this first world problem of whether I'm going to self-publish or trad publish. I talked to a couple of people who know a little bit, and they were going, you know, a traditional published author might sell around 700 copies. And they said, and that's not a figure I've pulled out of the air, that's a recent one that I've done some work on. And they said, you know, even a big publisher, they might be publishing like 30 books in that season, and they'll put most of the marketing into 1 or 2 of them, and the rest of them get next to nothing. They're just basically, they're sort of 300 here, 400 here, 1,000 here. They're paying for the marketing for the big 2 that will hopefully, you know, sell enough to get them awards, New York Times bestseller list, which isn't even based on amount of books sold. It's such a con that is. It's a dirty business. It's editorial decisions. Anyway, I tell you what, Scrubs, I need some one-liners for this novel, because there's a lot of very long entries, and I want some just little one-liners. It's earlier on I thought everything I'm thinking just a one-liner I'm putting into I take an audio note of. And earlier on, I just thought, if I had a kid, I'd call it Socrates, unless it was a woman, and then I'd call it Socrates. And then it's nothing. It won't go in the novel, but, you know, you keep 20 notes, 2 of them might go somewhere. But then I sort of carried on developing it. So it was only meant to be a one-liner. And I thought, all the things to worry about when you're having a kid, but you have to think about what you're going to call them. You have to, because you're lumbering them that with for life. And I was thinking, if you don't know people, there's a Scottish footballer, and his surname is Dickoff, right? Well, it's Dickov with a V, but everyone says Dickoff. Or even on telly when they talk about, oh, look at Dickoff run down there, it always sounds like Dickoff, right? And his parents had 9 months to think of what his Christian name was going to be, his first name. And out of all the names, they called him Paul. His name's Paul Dickoff. It's just, I mean, it's hard to abuse a child that hasn't even started showing in the belly of the mother, but they managed it. Paul Dickoff. Can you imagine that, Packer, at school? Can you imagine if your name was Paul Dickoff? It's over.
It must have been sheer hell, yeah. That's the boy named Sue, isn't it? That's the scenario.
There you go.
He either lives or dies, and if he lives, he'll be hard as nails.
Yeah, and become
get through his skin.
Paul Dickoff, though. I suppose it's Slavic, isn't it? It feels like Slavic. Right, anyway, Griftertron people, buy me a coffee and entropy are at the top of the YouTube chat. Donate, please. Or you've got the super chat at the bottom of the YouTube. chat, donate, please. There was another one, wasn't there? Oh yeah, if you want to get yourself on the ridiculously, surprisingly successful grift of the century, the Scrubs wall, which is ironically likely to pay for the very building that it's going to be on, for 20 notes, you can join these Scrubs. Look how many of them there are. I've even had to move on to page 2. And I'll get a Dremel or likely a hammer and bolster, and I'm gonna make a real bodge job of getting all of those Scrubs names into the bricks or plaster, whatever it's, straw on the house that one day I'm building in the province. Now that might sound ridiculous, but we bought the land. It's all the footings have been built. There's poles sticking out the ground because you have to have it off the ground because of the snakes and tarantulas. So there's that as well. If you do donate via Buy Me a Coffee, I'll see it come up and I check entropy regularly. So you still get your moment of glory. In fact, you get a bit more because I have to cut and paste it and all that luck. And that's the grifting for today. Good show yesterday. A lot of things, a lot of little different things come up. It was exciting. 42's on the firm. 42 says that one fat kid per class back then. Now we have fat kids on the football team. Who was it? You know, at my school, when I picture my class, they're just malnourished. They're just thin. You know, Marmite sandwich sort of generation.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I mean, I don't mean to be nasty, but I do remember a couple of large ladies. Well, not ladies, they were kids, weren't they? I suppose not managing to make that distinction could end me up in prison. Please laugh, Packer. Thanks. If you do want to, you don't do too much of that, mate. It will get you in all sorts of trouble. Well, you know, we were talking about Art Close voice yesterday.
Yeah.
He left me a voice message. I left him a video message and he left me a video message. And as soon as he started talking, it was insanely deep. What is that? Is it just your vocal cords? Do you see skinny, thin people with very deep? Let's find out. Let's get this sorted now, and then we'll never need to.
Are you going to Google it?
No, man. I don't Google anymore. I'm on the ChatGPT custom. He'll go to me, hello, mush. He go, let's work. He talks to me like I talk to him now. It's remarkably narcissistic. I think we're building quite a sensual relationship. Forever in electric dreams. Right. Hello, mush. What makes someone have a deep voice? Can skinny people have a deep voice? Hello, mush. There you go. Look, I'll prove it to you. Look. I know it's backwards, but look. Hello, mush. Let's see what he's got to say on the subject. This is what he says. Yes, skinny people absolutely can have deep voices. Having a deep voice isn't about body fat or muscle mass. It's about vocal anatomy. By the way, Arklow, I wasn't saying you're fat, but you're a big lad. You're a big lad, but you're out of shape. So steady, because I've still got the moves. What makes a voice deep? Vocal cord and thickness. So it is just about that. Or you can imagine in the future or the past, people having vocal cord transplants. Imagine you were really rich, like one of these billionaire families, what are they called, the Kardashians or something, and you couldn't sing, you just couldn't do it. I want a different voice. And then they sort of, went to somewhere in Asia, sorry, bought a child. It's sort of like a hyper-real castrato. And done. If you can do a heart transplant, you can do a vocal cord. Let's ask. Can you do a vocal cord transplant? Technically, no, not yet. They're too delicate. They're about 12 mil long, highly specialised tissue, highly specialised tissue. By the way, I just said tickle and wee. I mean, the Freudian stream has started. By the tickle, by the wee, and the mum stop hitting me so hard on the penis. On the thumbnail, I said dead man streaming. I am whacked. Absolutely. Like, it's not getting any better because, again, after yesterday's stream, I'm writing. Didn't last long, though. Didn't last. And you know what? That cup of tea that I made to give me some energy before the stream was still too hot 2 hours after the stream. I've made the same mistake again tonight. Woke up with my head on the keyboard. Done some good writing, though. Kept most of it. Vincent, I couldn't get any joy out of those links you put on the Scrubs lifeboat. Anyway, we've done it. Hang on. Hello, Richard Crook. Richard Crook, are you new in these parts, or you just been what do we call him, Packer? I can't think.
Sorry, mate, I was answering someone in the chat. What were we saying?
Well, I haven't seen Richard Crook in it before. What do I? It's not lingering, is it?
Lurking.
Lurking. Are you a lurker, Richard, or have I just forgotten? Anyway, kid with green urine. That's an odd one. Kid with a snotty nose that bubbles when they. I know that. Yeah, the snot bubble kid. Yeah. I also, there's always the one where it just is, there's always something running out of his nose.
Yeah.
It's a funny old thing, isn't it? It's a funny old thing. Jedi said that Mitch Hedberg wearing a turtleneck and it's a great joke. There you go, Packer. That's another great Mitch Hedberg line. Wearing a turtleneck and a backpack together feels like being taken down by a midget. They're not the exact words, but fair play, Jedi. The Hedberg is a different level. Kid with smelly lunch. Look at Richard going for it. Kid with weird illness. And he's off all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. We all went to the same school.
Our
generation.
And weirdly, you'd think it would be, I mean, now you haven't got any of them. But now they've all just got mental illnesses. There's no difference. Yeah, are they really? Are the kids fat these days at schools? I don't know.
Yeah, like in big supply.
I'm sure they are in America. I'm gonna have to turn you up a bit. Hello, Chasworth. How are you? Chasworth said, "Ask alpacas." I used to have a mate who had a business selling alpaca socks. Not socks for alpaca, but socks for humans made from alpaca belly, hair, wool. They were really nice, man. They were like 30 quid a pair. He gave me a pair once, which I really liked them. He died. When we went round his house, because he weren't turning up at NA meetings for like 14 days. So he used to go like 2 a day. And as soon as he disappeared, we were like... So we went round there. I let myself in. And he was sitting there. His head was like a beach ball. And he was covered in like clear mucus. There was some kind of food that had been on the hob for probably 3 or 4 days. It was just like black, crusty, and the heat was still on. We tidied up for him. We found all the things you wouldn't want to find that a human can produce, and went, But we ended up. It was about, and this isn't like, I'm not like 10 or 20 out. I'm in the right. It was about 136 bottles empty. Red wine, and there was 3 or 4 empty bottles of spirits, and that was in that 12 days. I tell you what, I learned a lot at the many rehabs I've been to. The last one I learned not to trust them, even though I didn't before, but there you go. But you really learn alcoholism, what we'll call it, when you can't stop drinking, or you choose to just drink until you're just completely gone. It shocked me. It absolutely shocked me what they get up to. I know I've said this one a lot, but I shared a room with a bloke, and very well spoken bloke, lived down in is it called Sandbanks or something, down near Poole in Dorset, really like posh, expensive place to live. It's got like a little beach there and all that. And he was like, hello, Christopher. Looking forward to another lovely day. And I said to him, what was your daily sort of consumption? And then he said, well, I'd wake up, pour a pint of famous grouse. And as he said that, he was about 60. As he said that to me, he went, I'd pour a pint, I fill a pint glass with famous grouse. And he went, lovely. And I'd go, right. And then they'd go, I'd neck that. I'd say sometimes I'd have to take a bit off the top just to get my first vomit out. He goes, but then I'd neck that and fall asleep. I go, it's not really falling asleep though, is it? Is that it's not? Is that a sleeping pill? And then he said, I'd wait. Oh yeah, a poison to unconsciousness. And then he said, I'd wake up around 2-3 in the afternoon and pour a pint of famous grouse. Lovely. And he said, and then by evening it was whatever I could find, what money I had and what the off license was selling. But that was kind of it. He died. He died about 5 weeks after leaving rehab. There's a lot of booze, isn't it? And another thing I found out about I won't go on about booze because we did last night, but I did. It gets to the point, and I know this from substance issues I've had. It gets to the point where it doesn't work, and it's in the chat. If you've had any substance, including alcohol, or any other behaviours where it stops working, it's one of the most scary things in the world because you rely on it. It's your crutch. It's not your crutch. I always feel weird saying crutch. Do people call your willy a crutch? Is that a name? Is that a slang term for willy and balls?
Crotch, isn't it?
Yeah, but do people say I got kicked in the crutch, or do they?
I think mistakenly they might. Yeah. I don't know. How would I know? I'm quite stupid. Ask the chat.
Well, I sort of am. That's you're like a conduit to the chat. That's why I think it works so well. What's 42 going about? I'm going back out shortly. Going to come home. Going to the coming home parade.
Yeah, he was out at a parade this morning live. It was a good stream. He got a good signal and everything. And some of the bands were really good, really tight.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. I will definitely check that out. Good call. Looks like Spanish Chicken watched that as well. Bless 42. What a character. What a fella. What a chap. Hello, Emma.
Tonight as well. Tonight's stream is the bonfires. The great big, where they get 1 or 2 pallets.
Oh,
The Irish, they're very understated when they comes to a bonfire.
Barbecue about 1,000 hedgehogs. They're pests anyway, those. All right, there you go, people. That'll be exciting. That'll be really exciting. I mean, they've been trying to get rid of them for years because they're dangerous, aren't they? Like pallets and things, or just all the old.
They're immense. It's insane.
Can you imagine the good old days of all the massive, like burning wicker men and all that back in the land-om of England? Right, let's hope, because I can't stay for long, people, because my missus had to take her mother to hospital today, so she ain't feeling great. And so she wants to get some sleep. So that's why I started early. But let's see if someone wants to come on. I only have one person in at a time. And if I yeet you after 5 minutes, it's just to get more people on. If you get into something really interesting, I'll keep you on. But don't take it as you're not interested if I get shot of you. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Here you go. There's a link in the chat. And if someone's in and you join, I'll just kick you out. But don't feel like I've just kicked you out. Paul Dickoff, though. Any gooners in the chat? I know, I feel your pain. What is going on? Please, just get it over with. Get it over with. Pizzle. Chadman Pizzle is buffering like a beagle. There he is. Look at him. You're very quiet. Like silently quiet.
Can you hear me, mate?
Can now. Yeah.
Loud and clear now,
Right.
yeah.
I'm only saying hello. This heat, man, it's too much, isn't it?
Is it too much? You look like you're loving it. You're getting a bit of colour on for this missus, for this bird, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Got to be done. Yeah. It's too much. But
is it too much?
it is when there's no pool to dive into, you know what I mean? And a glass of cider and ice. You know, when you're just stuck at home and you're just sweating and you can't sleep at night because there's no air conditioning.
To be honest with you, from here it looks absolutely gorgeous. You've got
Well, it is
lovely
gorgeous,
blue
yeah.
sky.
That's the point. It is gorgeous. It's just very hot. It's probably not as hot as it gets there.
What's
but, we're not used to it, us Brits.
Well, I thought about this earlier because obviously my auntie who lives in Menorca said England are having what they call a heat wave. And
It's meant to be about 31 today. About 31, I think.
Well, that's what it is now at 11:30 at night here.
Yeah.
It's
like
cooled off nicely.
It's been 28. I mean, it's still too fucking hot.
But here's the thing that I thought. The thing is, somewhere like Cambodia, where it's the same all year round, you're prepared for it.
On a stream.
You know, the clothes we wear out here, the things we do, the life you live, that people have grown used to that kind of weather, what we eat, and there's pretty much no one bakes anything in Cambodia. Because if you put an oven on in a house, it's 38 degrees, it's like, that's why most things are fried.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, Chris, I'll just wait to say hello. I'm going to go.
Lovely to see you. Nice one. It was so lovely talking to you last time. You just looked so well and happy, and compared to the time we talked before. You keep this going, man. You're doing well, and I'm very proud of you for whatever that means. But I am.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, thanks.
Chris. Yourself, son.
You're going to kick me out because I'm not sure how to stop.
I'll do it. Don't worry.
Kick me out.
Ta-da! Give Pizzle some love in the chat, people. He's doing absolutely remarkable, and we've got someone already lined up. Look at that.
What about
just James from Philadelphia? James, I'll have you on next, all right? Jimmy, if you can hear me, nod because I can see you. I'll keep. I don't know if he's even listening.
I'll only be a couple of minutes.
42's only going to be all right. So Jimmy, give me a wave. Okay, yeah, nice one. We'll have you on next. So 42, you're only going to be a couple of minutes. So you've had a busy day living the Northern Irish culture.
Oh, yes. This is the 12th of July. It celebrates the Battle of Boyne in 1690. This is the 335th anniversary, and every year we have parades and bonfires. The bonfires signify the fires that were lit to guide the ships into...
42, stop. Just give me those details again, and then... while you're talking about it, I can have some visuals about it.
Right.
So what do I type in?
Battle of the Boyne.
How do I spell Boyne?
Boyne.
All right. Celebrations or something?
Yep. Celebrations, 12th of July.
Right. Let me see if I can work out. Let me see. Right. Here we go. Orange Man's Day.
Yes, Orange Day. That would be it.
So they're quite political, aren't they? People don't like all this. Am I going to get in trouble?
Yeah. No. No more than I do.
I was about to say that's what you said in 1978. Yeah. Right, hang on. Here we go. Let me just mute it, and then I'm going to share the screen. You're going to still have audio. Right. You can tell us, and we can watch it like a YouTube channel.
Excellent. So
take it away.
The bonfires celebrate the bonfires. Remember, this is a parade. This is Belfast City Centre. That is I think that's a Belfast District Colour Party, followed by the Lodge. The people with these collarettes on, they're all members of lodges. They go have a meeting once a month to discuss lodge business and whatnot. And also there is a political element to it where we lobby politicians and shit.
42, has he got something on his camera or is he dubbing out faces?
I think he's just got it. I'm not sure.
It's an odd one, isn't it?
I'm not sure what's going on. It could be that today was really, really sunny, and it could, although they seem to be all in the shade, I think it might be just the lighting.
He's got a bit of glare or something. Right, carry on. Sorry, don't let it distract you. Say what you're going to say.
Basically, I'll explain to you where this fits into your history. We had the Glorious Revolution in 1688 and the English Bill of Rights. That's whenever William came over and took over from James, because James was being a cunt and not running a proper parliament. And this is where the whole English constitution, all of our rights and privileges all come from this Glorious Revolution in 1688. Tony Blair brought a new constitution in the late 90s and fucked everything up. That's why we went to shit. But this parade remembers the Battle of Boyne, which was after the glorious deliverance. James ran away from England into France, came back into Ireland, was trying to come back up and have a attempt on the crown, and he was stopped in Ireland during the Williamite Wars. 1690 Battle of Boyne, 1691 the Battle of Aughrim. These parades, so we parade this every year, and it's serves quite a few functions. One is it's historical, because if you're going to be involved in all of this, you will learn the history. We learn our history here by osmosis, because...
And you said to me once that there was an element of getting young men to be meeting up regularly as well.
Yes. But all these bands, they don't just turn up once a year. They practice once, twice a week during the year. So they're having meetings for doing that, and
there's a maintaining of a political community as well.
Yeah, but also like we've put up
42. Hang on, mate. Is that you in the red scooter there?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I'm still moving under my own steam.
Can I ask something?
It was rags, wasn't
it? Can I ask you a question? Have these things, the celebrations in general, so we've got this, Pac was talking about, and you were talking about the big fires later.
Yeah.
Have they got more popular, less popular? Have they maintained a standard kind of popularity over the years?
The popularity with the people for going to them has remained exactly the same. However, whenever I was a kid, this Belfast parade lasted about 3.5 hours. It's now down to about an hour and a half. So you've got less people taking part, and the reason why you've got less people taking part is because simply being in a band or in a lodge puts you in the pole position for being labelled racist, bigot.
You're going to be on a list if you're an orange man.
Yes, we are all on a list, and the say that their complaints about bonfires is about the height of them and materials and effigies and stuff.
I'll see all that.
Their genuine problem is that they happen, and they want those. They want those removed. It wouldn't matter how clean or tidy or whatever we made those bonfires, they would not be acceptable. And the problem is, we go to those bonfires in many stages of our lives. We start off going as children with our parents. Then we go as older children where we're with under parent control but allowed a bit more freedom. Then we'll go to when our parents don't go between 14 and 18. And then meet girls and stuff. And then we'll go with our own children and then hopefully our grandchildren. And it's a It's a major constant, standing in the same place, watching the same fire, watching the same. It brings couples back to whenever they were just meeting and going to that for the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
time.
I get you. You know, even when I was a child, 42, well, maybe not a child, but sort of 17, 18, I remember a thing on the news about the fires, and they were trying to say that they were dangerous and bits fall off. And the crappy evidence they had was like a little bit of wood fell off a fire and was like 6 meters away from someone. And I
Yeah.
thought, this is clearly not about health and safety. It was so transparent.
Here's the problem: we built like the one I was at last night and filmed. The houses were a football field away, and nothing got damaged. You know, we know
Wow.
we know the tolerance that there is with heat. We know what way these things are going to collapse. We can tell.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, that's Ballycraigie.
Do you recognise that, 42? You know that area?
Well, I know that bonfire.
Okay.
That's a Ballycraigie bonfire. That here, we're not Irish, we're British, mate.
And do you know that because the colours at the top, or the shape, or
the shape and the little
the Eiffel Tower there?
The ironclad thing with the flag, and that flag says "Castles in the Sky." And last year there was a Red Bull guy skydived off that at 202 feet.
Wow.
Guinness World Record.
Hang on, so he done like, what do they call it, a free dive or something?
Yeah, base jumping.
That's it. Sorry, base jumping. Wow,
Yeah.
Look at that. And so, like when they destroy houses, they know where that's going to tumble. It's been designed with a weak spot to go sort of left or right or north or south or whatever.
Well, actually, that big one in Ballycarry, they light that from the top, so it burns from the top down. Nothing will fall more than a lot of feet away from.
Oh, I get you. So it's becoming safer as it burns more.
Yeah, the top bit burns, it falls down, and it's going to stay pretty close to the base of the bonfire. Then the next bit will burn and it'll fall. Whenever you get over a certain height, you have to light it from the top. At smaller, if you've got a smaller bonfire, you'll light it either at the bottom or the middle.
And I'm guessing even building that's probably taken a couple of months, hasn't it? Putting that together.
A couple of months. And do you know what? See the people who see the health and safety people. They go to the people who build this bonfire to get advice on how you safely build a bonfire.
Oh, they really?
Yeah, because they know more about it than the health and safety people. See, there's a couple of things. One of them is that takes around about 4 months to build. I don't know how much. I don't know how much they spend on that, but they fund it every year. They self-fund it, and these bonfires aren't put on by the council. So
who's that fella? Sam.
He's obviously a member of that flute band. I can't see what the.
It looks like he passed away. It's not goodbye. It's see you later. Okay.
So what we'll do is we put things like that celebrate our culture on them until the day before they're going to get burnt, and then they get replaced with foreign flags that have been erected in the local area. So
I love it so much.
That effigy there is Lundy. Lundy was in charge of Londonderry during the siege of Derry, and he wanted to surrender. And we'll still burn his effigy every year, so we haven't forgot.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, I mean, it's just I just love anything that brings communities together, and there's not a lot of that left in the mainland.
Oh, and I'll tell you something else. See if you're going to live in a community that every year gathers this stuff together and burns a big fire in the middle of their housing estate. you're probably not going to stay if you don't fit in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's,
And there's a lot of burning. Kids make fires, don't they?
oh,
When you're
there's
like sort of 8 or 9 years old, you build a little fire, and I don't want to get too involved in my specialist area, but that most children will also put out a fire by pissing on it. And there's actually a symbolic sort of connection to that. Now, I know you're not going to be pissing on these to put them out, but that's just a tradition of males to want to build a fire. And
beside every one of those big bonfires, you'll have a very small kids bonfire that the kids themselves have built up themselves with adult supervision. It's going to be small. It's going to be the same thing on a much smaller scale, and then those children will be taught how to light it safely on the 11th night.
Okay, I get you.
And they do that every year. So because we know the only way this carries on is if we teach the people coming behind us how to carry it on.
Yeah, absolutely. And pass down the traditions.
This also actually ties into ChatGPT, because
I don't know what that footage is about.
What ChatGPT will do is it'll give you all the information on the internet, but it's also excluding all of the oral history. It's excluding all of the non-codified knowledge, and that is all going to get pushed to the side. And that's the only bit of artificial intelligence that worries me. It's all the information that it's not looking at, because it's simply.
Oh, well, let's give that a go, shall we? What do you want me to ask it?
Let's see. Ask it what was the gunpowder plot.
All right. What, in England?
Yeah. By the way, the gunpowder plot is very connected to all of this, and your Guy Fawkes' Nights were once every bit as patriotic as our 11th Night once. Those two events are cousins.
Oh, it's of all the times it's decided to give me one of these. It will say the same, but I'll just have to pick one, and it'll. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. Bosh. There you go. Okay, so for those who can't read it, interrupt me, 42, when you are not impressed.
Yep.
The gunpowder plot was a failed attempt in 1605 by a group of English Catholics to assassinate King James I and blow up the House of Lords during the state opening of Parliament. The goal was to kill the king, much of the Protestant aristocracy, and the bishops in one explosion, and then replace the monarchy with a Catholic ruler. And then it's got the dates.
That's actually not bad, because most of them leave out the plot to kidnap, have a Catholic uprising in the Midlands.
You see, that's the reason I wanted to try it out, because I've noticed ChatGPT over the last 6 or 7 months, well, half a year, whatever, has actually loosened up. And I've noticed that there were times when it wouldn't even edit stuff I'd written, just spell checking it, and it would say, "No, I can't." And now it will. Right. And I think they're understanding that if someone comes, like Grok is still a bit. Well, we've had all these problems with Mecha Hitler and that recently, but I think that's why. Okay, are you ready to move on?
ARPA, sorry, mate. ARPA put a thing about the Irish, and I say we're not Irish, but ARPA.
I heard you.
ARPA, right? No, you're not calling me Irish. Don't worry, we're fine.
So what's Arklow thinking about these stories? I don't not on a personal level, but sort of.
Oh, here. Oh fuck! No, we'll not. What we'll do that? Ask ChatGPT.
Hang on. Let's just carry on with it. Is there anything else here that you're not happy with?
No, that overview is actually quite good. It's better than most.
I think ChatGPT is changing a little bit, but we can. I'm always happy to see it get more.
It always sort of just went until the remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder and treason should ever be forgotten. The gunpowder is obviously the explosion. The treason is that it's the king, and the plot is the plot for a Catholic uprising. And
yeah, it seems a bit weird that we burn. What's the burning of Guy Fawkes?
Because he's a traitor. And this is
A
how
traitor?
Yeah, he was
A
attempting
traitor.
the British people, to the English people. He was attempting to murder the king and put in a Catholic dictatorship run by the Vatican.
Okay, so this is so you're all good with that. That's okay.
But that has normally just said that it normally said that it was an attempt to blow up Parliament. Which
there was
is
a
why
grass. There was a grass apparently. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want me to put in? What are we going to check him out on next? Unless you don't want to, I just thought you had something.
I'm trying to think of anything that I actually can't think of anything at the moment.
That's all right. We can go back to the Battle of the Boyne. So yes. What are you doing? What are you doing later then? What you're off out for more parading?
Yes. What happens is all the districts meet in their local area. My local area is 6th District, Ballymacart. They left this morning, went to the parade, and they're going to be coming home. We have a new orange arch installed in Teltmore Avenue. It's a semi-permanent structure. It'll be there for certain months of the year. And I'm going to go down to that and live stream that parade because it's going to be noisy as fuck. As you know about the divisions, the place where that parade comes up to, that the Irish people live a good 70 away.
This was my next question. Actually, let's get us back to full screen.
Here, McDonough, the native Irish are not the fucking Celts, by the way. Celts invaded around about 250 BC. The island has been inhabited for over 7,000 years by that stage. So if you're talking about the native Irish, you must be talking about the Ulster Scots. And you must be supportive of our culture.
I take you're replying to that comment there.
Yep. And if you want unionists and loyalists to work with you against immigration, see this shit where there was 4 people shot with an air rifle in a loyalist parade in Scotland. That needs to stop.
Yeah.
That needs to stop forthwith. And all the pressure and all the complaints about the parades need to stop. If you want us to work together to stop migration, you're going to need to stop attacking us at the same time.
It's the creation of the third enemy, isn't it? That's what as often brought. I mean, it's a cliche, but the enemy of my enemy might just as well be my friend for at least a few years. This is what I wanted to ask you because I certainly remember, and again, I'm going back a long time here, but there was definitely news reporting when I was younger about the I can't remember. I'm guessing it would have been the Catholics saying that the Orange March is going to near their manor or that's their area.
Okay, so the biggest one of those was Drumcree. What happened was you had a housing estate that was mixed and a load of IRA people came in. Now this housing estate ran along a road close to the church in Portadown, and it was the return route for a church parade on the 1st of July. They put IRA people into that area. They started training in the fields behind the road, and the Protestant people, not wanting to be murdered, moved out, and then Catholics moved in, and then they said, "You're putting your parade through our fucking area." But it only became their area because they used violence to intimidate people out, and this is a very common problem. They and most of the parades, the parade at Ardoyne, like the parade at Ardoyne, which is not allowed to make its complete return journey tonight, and it's going to be stopped. It doesn't go through a nationalist area. It goes on the main road past shops that are between the houses and the road, but that is too close.
42, do you think this will ever get resolved? Because I'm thinking, you know, you're getting parents teaching their kids what their parents taught them on both sides. You know, I'm very naive. A lot of people in the chat aren't agreeing with you, and that's expected, I think.
Yeah, well, tell you what, we teach our children whenever the Irish nationalists are having an event to stay the fuck away from it and just not go near it and live your life. Out of respect,
that's their event.
Partially respect for that sort of event. The second one is you're going to end up getting a hiding. Don't go there and get yourself fucking beat up. Don't just leave it the fuck alone. And if they could manage to do that with our stuff, we could maybe get somewhere. However,
this is a question that might sound, well, almost certainly will sound very ignorant, and if you can't answer it for whatever reasons, don't. But are there still active paramilitaries on both sides?
Of course there are.
Is that just obvious? Does everyone know that?
Yeah, everybody knows that. The people who
except me. Well, I do now.
The people who are in charge of monitoring it said that since the Good Friday Agreement, we have got more paramilitary organisations than we had instead of fewer. Yeah, there's more have sprung up.
So there are people taking young lads or whatever and training, military training, how to use weapons and tactics and that.
We're fucking shooting each other. We have round about 4 murders a year, which is very low, I know, but we have round about 4 paramilitary murders a year.
And are these like just people picking people out of spite, or are they contracts?
It tends to be, well, see, whenever we had the peace deal, we had this amazing thing. It's called, we will allow them to do their own housekeeping. So if the paramilitaries decide to kill somebody that's sort of on their side or whatever, or it's a feud between two, see the cut line seems to be if it's a unionist killing a nationalist or a nationalist killing a unionist. See if it's a unionist and a unionist or a nationalist and a nationalist, they don't seem to give a fuck.
Okay, and I see that kind of thing obviously reflects in other.
But it's a really strange sort of piece that comes along with murder.
One of the strangest things I've ever heard anyone say, but I kind of get it.
You know, we have this weird system where we've got a government that has been closed more often than it's been open. Whenever you count up the amount of days that our government has sat since the Good Friday Agreement 20 odd years ago, and the days that it has been closed because it can't get on with each other, you'll notice that it's been closed more than it's been open. There's fuck all about this.
Is there money to be made supplying weapons, or is it purely politics? People
weapons is not where the money's made, mate.
Okay.
Right. See, here's the thing. Say for sake of argument, you're a paramilitary. Be that on the unionist side, be it on the national side. Doesn't really matter. So you become a community representative. And then whenever there's something going to be going on in that area, I don't know, some form of event, you'll probably be the person that gets the job of sorting out the council's input in that. So if they need a bouncy castle or a fun fair or whatever, you will book that. But the people you will book to do that will be the people that work underneath you as a paramilitary that have got contacts that can get that in. So they're going to make a bit of coin out of that. The other thing is pretty much all the, like, the other thing that they did was they took away the restriction for criminal convictions to be a taxi driver in Northern Ireland after the peace deal, so that all these groups could start their own taxi business.
So fundraising, essentially.
Yeah, but fundraising, how fundraising works is most of the funds,
like most fundraising, it's a non-profit, but someone's taking a wage.
Yes, people are taking wages. That's where the money is.
There you go.
Right.
Good Lord.
No,
right. Let us end on something a little bit less. Oh, Richard Brown has donated twice into Buy Me a Coffee. You'll get video replies to both of those, Richard. Massive hoy, much appreciated. They're the only two donations I've got, and I thought 42 is absolutely smashing it as usual. You're off out for and do you go with Emma tonight?
No, I'll not see Emma. Emma's working tonight. Unfortunately, yeah.
You might be able to pick up someone else though for a quick shift.
No, not a chance with. No.
Sorry, Emma. Just a joke.
Yeah, no. This is. Trust me. Anybody that was attempting to hook up today has done that by now.
Okay, that's interesting.
They've already done that on the walk back.
Are there a lot of babies born 9 months after the 12th of July?
Here's what happens. You get people from all of the districts in Belfast all going to one location. So we all bugger off to where the other districts are and have access to new females that we never have met. And you know that you're compatible because you're both from that same culture.
Okay, I like the sound of that. It's sort of like evolutionary kind of cultural evolution.
Prior to the Troubles, there was tea dances in all of the orange halls, so that people could go there and meet.
I like the sound of that. That's really interesting, actually. You know that they're your kin.
Yeah.
42. I want to ask you something before I let you go. When I was a communist, hello Kim. When I was a communist, yeah, it's a sad thing to say, but at least it's equipped me with a fair amount of knowledge about it, which is quite helpful in arguments. Thank you, Richard, by the way. What was I going to say when I was a communist? Oh, yeah. I found that there was loads of movies and culture, like from your Che Guevara T-shirts right through to your Land and Freedom films by Ken Loach. And there wasn't anything really from the right. The left were really good at using culture to sort of maintain and promote their message.
They took
over. When I watch movies about the Northern Ireland situation, and you know, even going right back to that, what's that movie, Fields of Barley or something, where the barley.
Yeah. Well, the hand that rocks it. No,
something like the hand that rocks the barley is amazing. It's something like that. The wind that blows. You know the film, but what I'm talking about is they always seem to be anti-unionists.
Oh yeah, of course they are. See, here's the thing. There are two factions right across the world. There's people that want one rule for all and general fair play, and there's people that want to dictate to everyone else because they believe them to be beneath them. We, the British Unionists, are the only thing stopping them getting world domination of with their dictatorship, with all that leftist stuff, and that's why they hate us. We're in the way.
Wow. I mean, I was, but just again, because of my ignorance, as I always say, I'm so ignorant. Rag's done the best job he could trying to educate me on this. But as you know, it is very complicated. You know, but hang on. Let me just tell you.
You've all been deliberately lied to about it.
Yeah. And when I found out that, I mean, I'm scared to say it. This is the kind of propaganda we've been fed in England. But when I found out that Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness were communists, I was like, hang on, this ain't making sense. What? This isn't the story I've been told. But yeah.
Well, here, do you know what? Most of their voters don't know that either.
Right, that was kind of my first thought. I thought, you know, this isn't something that's been made public.
Yeah, it's all in their meetings in their Ardèche and all of that, but they don't make it. It's not front and center.
It's bad optics.
Yeah, it's behind the curtain.
Okay, listen, you're going out to are there fireworks?
No, there'd be no fireworks, just very, very loud fifes and drums. A good 50 yards away from the Irish people that live the other side of the wall.
And is it a short walk for you? Is this a good night for you? Is it a night you look forward to this?
Yes, I really look forward to this. This is my favorite time of the year.
Well, listen, 42, as usual, you've come on and absolutely torn it up. If anyone like me, it's just so interesting. And to the people in the chat who don't agree with 42, I understand that as well. I don't know, so I haven't got a position either side. I just listen and try and learn about it. 42, you look after yourself, you look after your people, and you have a cracking night.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And talk soon. And thanks again, Chris.
Yeah, look after yourself, mate. Ta-da, ta-da. Give 42 some love, people. John Fused. I'll put a 42 in the chat. I mean, I get nervous talking about all that stuff, people, because obviously it's heated. You know, obviously people have, you know, a lot of people have suffered. And I don't know enough about it really to have an opinion. I listen to what both sides say, and that's all I can really do. But I think it's important that people have their say. And if anyone wants to come on and, you know, not attack 42, I won't be having that. But if you want to come on and tell me your version of events, I'll happily listen. Jimmy's coming on next. So this link is for Jimmy. John, I got your buy me a beer. Thank you very much. Buy me a future, I mean. You'll get your video later. So sorry I missed that when it came up. And thank you for the super chat to remind me to have a look at it. Very kind. Okay, so this link is for Jimmy because he did get in last and I outed him. So here you go, James. It's Jimmy from Philadelphia. Spanish Chicken says, the immigration on both sides will be worse than the troubles in my... I mean, the question is, would you rather have the Northern Irish fighting, having troubles with the Irish, or a unified Islamic island? I suppose that's the question, isn't it? James,
What's up?
Not a lot. Sorry, my missus. Yes, love.
You all right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
What's up, Parker?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. My missus she's had a really tiring day taking her mum to hospital. She was up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She came home because she knows I don't eat if she's not here, and she's just made me mango and sticky rice, coconut sauce, And I wouldn't usually eat on a stream, but she makes the best one in the world.
I need it. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely
Listen,
ain't laughing. But it means you can talk, James, as much as you want.
Just so you know, I'm waiting on 2 hits of acid right now, so I might have to, bugger off.
What, you've already had them?
No, I'm some guy's delivering it. A friend of mine.
That would have been better if you'd have had them. And then 30 minutes. You've been on here on acid before, though. You went for a walk, didn't you? You came on live tripping.
Well, I remember one time being down in the woods, and it was very difficult to get transmission. And I found a little spot about 10 yards.
That was it.
So I kept walking around, and I'm laughing. And then you told that story, that Irishman getting a prostate exam.
Oh, yeah.
Not exam, but I took him to a hooker's house. And then at the end, you said the guy said, I've been waiting for that.
I've waited all my life for that.
And I just fell into this giggle fit, and people were looking at me like I was crazy because I'm tripping. I'm down on this in this park, and people are walking, with their children and horses, and I'm fucking cackling like a hyena,
There's always an old hippie to ruin everyone's
That
day.
shit was funny, man. I couldn't stop. The whole afternoon, I couldn't stop laughing. Because I was all invested in the story, and you were taking too long. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you feel me? End the fucking story. And then you hit it with that. I was like, oh man, that was fucking great.
Yeah, lovely bloke. He had a liver transplant. That's what happened, and they said it ain't taking. You're dying. And then he just said to me, "Are you still there, Jim?" Oh yeah. You're just very still. He said to me, listen, he said, I've got a week left. He said, can you take me to one of those Chinese birds you've always banging on about? And I took him to one who I knew, and she don't ask, she just gives it to you. Yeah. And it's something else. I've got to say, it's something else. Like, she doesn't have to do anything. She just holds it. Once she's done that, and it feels like someone's punching you in the arms, but it's like a fountain. And he come out like a cowboy, like John Wayne, his legs either side, yellow, like because of his liver problems. And he was Welsh. And he went, I waited all my life for that.
That was some funny shit. That was like the shirt.
Oh, good call. Yeah, I get it.
You missed, bitch.
So hang on. I'm terrified. I as a young man, I'd done loads of acid. I sort of built my sort of personality around it, all the psychedelic clothes and all that. I'm terrified of taking acid now. I'm really. I talked to a mate, and he said he does a lot. He was an alcoholic. He's like proper sleeping in the gutter alcoholic.
Right.
And not that you're not a proper alcoholic if you've got an house, but you know what I mean. He was in big trouble. And he got clean, he got an house, he wrote a best-selling novel, all that, sorted his life out, bought his mum a house. And he said to me he was going to do a load of mushrooms. And I was like, oh, fuck that. He said, no, I'll do them every few months. I said, when you're 17, it's all right. You got no worries. But at my age, he went, and that's why you should do it. Because all that went, what scares me is it might say, hang on, why are you living in Cambodia? Why are you with her? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And he said, yeah, that's why you do it. Man. To make sure you're yeah, exactly. Right. You're not just living habitually. You're actually looking at yourself in the mirror, or what William Burroughs called the naked lunch, when you just see what's on the end of your fork.
Well, I've been sober 25 months, so this is my first.
Well done,
I'm not going to drink alcohol. I'm not going to do any of that shit.
We talked about alcohol yesterday. I mentioned it at the beginning of this stream. When I first went, I'll just say it quickly again, but when I first went to rehab, as a smackhead, you think you've had it worse than anyone. But those drinkers, messy old game that is.
Well, see, now in the States, instead of referring to it as alcoholism, now they refer to it as alcohol use disorder. And I think that's a better descriptor, because, like you take my ex, for instance, she drank a fifth a day. She had to be detoxed or she could die. Whereas you look at me, I drank 3 or 4 9%ers. I didn't really need to be detoxed. I go through some anxiety, but I didn't drink like she did. I mean,
right, hang on. So, I'm a bit ignorant on this, but I always read it in Bukowski's novels. They'd say I bought a fifth. Is that a fifth of like whiskey? And what's that? A fifth of a liter or a fifth of a
it's just fucking metric bullshit now. Started by you people. I guess they call it a liter. Who the fuck knows? Yeah.
But is a fifth like a smallish bottle?
No, that's a pint.
Oh gosh.
The size of a wine bottle. Let's put it that way. Usually, that's about
fifth is a wine bottle. Oh,
approximately, yes. It's a fifth of a gallon, I believe. That's what it.
Have you ever had the sort of itchy feet for a whippet since you stopped drinking?
A little bit, and now they're doing all these lawsuits. I see it all online. Have you ever taken nitrous oxide to the point of what did it say?
Oh, lawyers trying to.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Lawyers trying to get money out of the people who supplied you.
Yeah. How the fuck?
No win, no fee, all that.
Well, I could prove it because I got mad packages from Amazon. So,
and you've got video footage of what it done to you.
Well, it didn't really. I was on so many other drugs. Who the fuck that? You know what I mean? But the tolerance was. I didn't realize you could get tolerant, and then I tried it a year later, and the tolerance was almost the same. So, and then I tried it a year after that, and the tolerance was maybe 20% off. So, apparently, you do something to your brain,
Sorry, I'm trying to open a jar. And
I think that's true for all drugs that you, like if you stop doing them for a while and then you start doing them again, that tolerance creeps up quicker on you because of your previous. I think that's true. I think that's true.
The tolerance creeps up quicker, but you still do have a tolerance. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I remember you
go to where you go to where you left off, I think. Quickly.
Funny old name, innit? Jimmy, what do you feel when you think of your life that has been not dominated, but certainly it's been a life of substances, hasn't it? Even when you're playing in a program or something.
I mean, I grew up in the 70s. I think, that was a lot of it was promoted by the rock stars and all. And, and I lived in a boys' home, and that's what we did. You know what I mean? We were allowed out in the community.
I never knew you went.
You didn't hear me on Dr. K? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked about that, Dr. K. Yeah.
I remember you on Dr. K, but I didn't see it. Because you've got a daughter, haven't you? You don't get on with your mother at all.
As a kid, because I was doing drugs and doing burglaries in the neighborhood, she was afraid I was going to die. So I wouldn't listen to her or anybody else. So she threw me in a home, but I became worse there. Because we were allowed out. So, and all the kids, well, at least the kids I hung out with didn't use drugs, right? So, I don't know.
If you could have your time again, would you?
Oh, I wouldn't touch drugs at all.
You'd prefer to have left them? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because you look at my brother who's doing very well in life, and you look at me, and there's no comparison.
Isn't he a lawyer or something, your brother?
No, he probably could be, though. He's very knowledgeable about a bunch of different subjects, so he's very well read.
Thank you, darling.
I used to be, but now once I hit the internet, I don't read anymore.
Yeah, I mean, people keep asking me for audio versions of my writing, and I'm going to do them, but they'll be behind a paywall because it's not as easy as you think reading your own stuff, and I'll improvise. So you will get.
I just bought an audio book by Whitney Webb. It's about Epstein and all. It's part 1, but I mean, she's difficult to. I don't know, man. She just hits you with so much information it's kind of hard for me to listen to it. But I don't know. I haven't read in years, but I used to. When I was in prison, I would knock a book out in a day or two, easily.
Have you still? Oh, sorry, I thought you meant writing them. Have you ever written anything?
Nah.
Not interested?
Not really. Nah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just basically waiting to die over here. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, man. No, you ain't. You're going to do two. You're going to drop those. You're going to double drop them. Are they going down together tonight? Just make sure.
I'm not going to do it. Well, what I'm going to do is go on a hike and do it tomorrow so I don't miss sleep. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That makes such a difference.
And plus, it's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow. So I'm going to go down there about 6 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't really start getting hot till about noon or, and you'll be under a canopy of trees too. So
that's proper professional tripping, doing it in the day so that when you're feeling all haggard and at the end of it, you go to bed. You don't have that weird jet lag.
You're a piece of shit. The next day, you're a piece of shit.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Take drugs responsibly, kids.
Yeah.
Well, we both just said, given the choice again. It was funny what you said, James, about all the rock music, because I've always thought if even your crack and your heroin, if they were in little brown like medicine bottles and you had to go to the chemist to get the Velvet Underground wouldn't be singing songs about them. You wouldn't have all that. I think it's the sort of forbidden fruit that's made the problem.
Let me tell you something. If that was the case, I'd be singing songs about it. Go to the chemist and fucking get. Oh man, are you kidding me? Shit.
Well, England, weirdly, I think it's the only country in the world. I think at the moment there's 412 people who get diamorphine ampules from their doctor.
What's that?
And because they've got addiction.
Oh.
I was offered it. I got the email. I had to go and do the test, and you've got to show that you've done Subutex, methadone, that. You've done 10 rehabs. You've got to tick a lot of boxes. You can't just stroll in at 18 and go, I had a bag of gear the other week. Can you give me a few amps a day? I got the email saying you've been approved for the program, and I was running around my room thinking the perfect prescription is landed. And the best thing was, because traveling's a nightmare when you're a junkie, because if you've got a 10-hour flight, you've got to get someone on the plane to have on the plane, and that ain't funny in that little tiny toilet with the people. You all right in there? Yeah, hang on a minute. And then when you land, you've got to go and score. And now somewhere like New York or something, I could probably sort it out in 5-10 minutes, but you don't really want to go to places where you can score quickly. And I just thought this is going to be amazing. I'll be able to jump on a plane. I'll have all my amps in their little boxes.
Well, let me say this to you: that the whole harm reduction thing. Well, over here they call it medically assisted treatment, right? When I was in those in the halfway house for drug rehab, oh my God, they're all coming in on subs or methadone or Adderall or benzo. They're even giving them benzos now at the rehab. Yeah, they're getting them scripts, and some of the houses will even take a weed script. And it's really and these people still act the same way because they're on drugs, right? Right. And I'm there, stone cold sober, having to put up with this shit. Like, fucking terrible, man. It was terrible.
I see a rehab center where they're treating heroin addicts with weed. And it's called something, I can't remember, there's a name, but it's like a play on words.
They're calling it Cali Sober. There's advertisements on Facebook.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's a peculiar angle.
They're going to destroy recovery, and that's all a grift. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Someone said, go on.
Here's the game that they play over here. So in other words, if they get subs and you see them coming in with what's that? What's the name of them pills that you take? Gabapentin. If you see them with that, they're full of shit. It's. I already know when because they'll take 5 or 6 of them, and within an hour they're licking their boots. You know what I mean? They're fucking. Yeah, you're sober. Yeah, get the fuck in. You know what I mean? Like, and there's other drugs that they can take too that amplifies the opiate effect of whatever the fuck they're taking.
Yeah,
potentially. And they got it all down. But these heroin addicts are some of the most wily motherfuckers you ever want to be. They got it all down. They know what the fuck, It's just ridiculous.
Grapefruit juice is a potentiator for benzos.
Yeah.
And if you're given a benzo script, the doctor by law has to tell you not to drink a lot of grapefruit juice.
Right.
And they found out because there was this family who had a grapefruit farm, and they used to get through loads of grapefruit juice. And one of them was on a Valium script, but she was just like stone cold out of her nut all day, every day. And they traced it back because every morning she'd have like half a pint of grapefruit juice. It does something to the liver. But you're so right. I mean, I've been in rehabs where people are counting their clean days while they're on Subutex.
Right.
And I'm like, which is buprenorphine, right? And I'm like, you do realise that you're on a very strong opioid.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, but it's not heroin, is it? I said, no, but what you're taking would kill 3 people. So it's still quite a substantial drug you're on. And they go, no, I'm clean. I'm like, if you want, okay. And I think that what you said then, it will destroy recovery. I saw it happening in London.
I had a lot of people that would ask me to sponsor them, right? And then I would do a history with them, and they've never had a problem with alcohol. And I would tell them, look, you got to go to NA. I mean, I can't, like you've never had a problem with the drug alcohol. Therefore, now there's people in AA that will sponsor them, but I won't, because you have to have had a problem with drug alcohol. Because you know what happens. Don't go and start drinking alcohol. That's,
Yeah.
And maybe you can, but.
Is this something you've noticed? I noticed it a lot in rehabs. You'd have a lot of younger people come in, ketamine, they had a problem, which is an awful drug. Like people of like 20, 22 have got colostomy bags because it's just burnt their whole.
Yeah, it really fucks your body up.
Through. And but there's like a weird hierarchy. Like they're looking up to the people in there who are talking about, I've been on smack 20 years. Yeah. They go out and relapse, and the first thing they do is go and buy heroin because they see that it's almost like they feel like they're not a proper drug addict.
Right.
It's like, mate, it could be cigarettes. If it's ruining your life, it's ruining your life. It doesn't really matter what it is.
Well, when you're younger, you don't, I remember thinking, Christ, I never married. I never lost children. I didn't lose a house. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger in AA meetings, listening to these people. And and you don't realize when you're younger that if you keep doing this shit, it's going to fuck you up somehow. Yeah, I mean, you're always hoping for the best. And, it just doesn't work that way. Apparently, them older folks were right. They were right. And I just didn't listen. They
tend to be. I remember I was in a meeting with someone, I think I was at 49, I was on a relapse, and I said, look, you could. He was going. There's a barrier between us, though. He said before you were using again, it wasn't there, but I can feel it. And I thought, this is all this spiritual bullshit. What's he talking about? There's a barrier. I'm the same person. I said, look. I've got a hot bird. I've got a business. I've got a nice pad. I've had a book published. I've got a master's degree. And he went. Imagine what you could have achieved if you weren't using. And that was weird, actually, when he said that, because it's all very well saying what you have done, but
probably right.
Without a doubt, or anything, whether it's a stimulant or a sedative, that's not helping you be productive in any way. It's not. It's confusing.
Well, see, when I grew up, they were trying to prove I was hyperactive, because the nuns were beating the shit out of me. They didn't know how to teach. It was rat, cat, bat. They taught you at a glacier pace. And I'd make airplanes and shit. And the nuns just took one look at me and said, medicate him, And my parents listened. And then, I went to public school and all. And I don't know. All the kids that I liked were doing drugs. So. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way it happened.
I think it's fucking awful giving children Ritalin, dexamphetamine. What a crazy.
You give stimulants to anyone, they're going to have better attention. I mean, it's fucking. But how about you treat people? You teach people better. I mean, listen, I can remember them teaching us how to read. Here you go. There was Dick and Jane, right? See Dick, turn the page. See the ball, turn the page. See Dick and the ball. And then 20 pages later, after all this bullshit, they're introducing Jane. See Dick and Jane chase the ball. It's like, what the fuck? It took a half an hour for them to chase a fucking ball. I'm like, what the fuck? So.
Yeah, I had exactly the same problem at school. The one I always remember.
Like you were retarded. And I don't think I was so smart. I think the whole class was. They just fucking teach you like you're a retard.
Yeah. What done me was they taught us something very simple like basic algebra. You've just taught me it. Okay, I get it. And then they'd say, right, turn to page 36 in the book and do those 100 sums. And I'd be like, yeah, but you've just told me how to do it. And I get it. Why have I got to do the most boring thing that you've just... I mean, it's a contradiction.
Well, that's for the... Most of school, let's face it, is memorization. So that's to get you to... I think it's kind of a good thing to continue to do the problem, to solve them. I mean,
but they just told me. It wasn't like it was complicated. I don't think you learn well through memory. I think you learn well through application.
Well, experience. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Application. Yes.
Exactly. All right, James.
Okay.
Go on. No, go on.
No, promote my brother, RPW Media.
Right, that's the one. I did promise it, so I will do that. That food is incredible.
And your brother, does he write his own stuff and do all his own research?
Yes. Yeah, he does.
He's great.
He's been studying politics for fucking 40 years, that motherfucker. He turned me into a conservative. He told me that Trayvon Martin thing. He told me, he said, Jimmy, because I thought, I was all for, Zimmerman's an asshole, this and that. And he said, Jimmy, NBC just fired 2 underlings because they doctored the 911 tape, making everybody think he was racist. And I looked it up and he was right. And then I started looking up other media, media things, and they fucking lied. They lied about everything. Every big event they lied about. So,
Jimmy, do you know, have you heard of David Duke? One-time Klan member.
No, yes,
right.
Yeah.
Used to lecture at universities all over the world. Really interesting bloke. Really well read.
He's got a master's in history or something.
Yeah, he just knows his stuff, and the reason he turned to the right was I think he was at school. It might have been university, but one of the two. But it would have been late at school, not as a kid. And the teacher said, right, I want you to identify your political positions. So write down what your political position is. So they all done it. I said, now what I want you to do for this sort of semester, or I don't know, whatever you'd call it, this term or this project, I want you to write an essay from the opposite position. And a good essay, defend the position. And David Duke was like a leftist, like a commie. And so he had to write an essay defending the right, the right wing. And in doing so, he never wrote another left-wing paper again. He went with it.
The thing with him is he had a lot of positions on race that were true, but the lefties just branded him a racist. You know what I mean? So, he kind of...
I think it's fair to say he made some mistakes as a young person. But the thing is, find me someone who didn't. It just so happens that the mistakes he made are very easily weaponized against him.
Right.
But for decades, he used to travel Africa lecturing. These are my beliefs. This is why I believe them. These are my thoughts. Go away and think about it. Like an education. But no, can't
if you
anymore.
Tell the truth, if you tell the truth about black people, you're instantly a racist. Or if you criticize the Jews, you're instantly a racist. Yeah.
Right,
so,
James, it's been lovely having you on. On that lovely note, you look after yourself. I'll put your brother's link. I'll put it in again. That's Jimmy's brother's channel. Go and check it out. It's quite weird, actually, people, because when you see his brother's avatar, you can tell he's related to Jim. It's quite sweet, actually. It's got those too much acid eyes. Look after yourself, James. Take care, mate. Bye, man. Jimmy. Give him some love in the chat, people. What a character. What a nice bloke. One thing I'm sorry I'm still eating, people, but I'm so hungry and it's delicious. I always just get the feeling that there's no agenda when Jim talks. He's just telling you what he thinks. And it's lovely. It's lovely, actually. You were very quiet then, young Picard.
I haven't had to say anything, have I?
I haven't had to.
No need.
Where are we? I've been doing
I can't get when 42's talking about, what goes on in his area, because I, like you, know nothing.
It's not only that, it's touchy, isn't it? It's touchy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not an argument that you wander into and 5 minutes later you should think you formed an opinion and got that thing right.
Yeah.
No one on either side in that argument is going to appreciate that kind of approach.
I mean, I said to Rags a couple of years ago now, I said, Rags, I'm so ignorant about the whole Northern Ireland thing. I said, can you send me some videos or resources that can help me? Stuff that, isn't politically biased, isn't trying to convert me, just sort of some honest histories. He was like, yeah, no worries. He must have sent me about 80 videos. And not like 4-minute videos. These are like 2-hour documentaries. And and I'm watching them, and the idea of no political bias. Politics is bias, really, isn't it? That's what it is. It's what you do instead of killing each other. So you're always going to be defending a position.
Yeah,
I don't know. Right, I'll stick the link in the chat. See if anyone wants to come in. I haven't got long left, people, because it's half midnight, and bless her, my missus wants to get some sleep. But I'm quite happy to get someone want to come on and say a few words. Say hello.
Is that good?
Sorry about it. It's so good. It's one of those things that it's more than the sum of its parts. You'd think coconut milk, mango, sticky rice, salt and sugar, and some mung beans. But when it's put together, I think it might be my favourite dish. It's not very good for you. It's not that bad for you, but
I miss macaroni cheese because I can't eat it anymore. Really
is that what? That's the one you miss, is it? Out of all of them?
Yeah, out of everything. Yeah, macaroni cheese.
What do you miss about it? Those crispy ones on top?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, my missus has got a pretty good recipe. Fairly, pretty close to what my mother's was. So.
And does she make it for your boy and that, and you have to sit?
No, she ain't made it since I couldn't have it. I don't think she'd do that to me. She wouldn't do that to me.
Oh.
No, she's shaking her head. She wouldn't do that to me. She ain't that keen man anyway, so she don't miss it.
So let me work this out. Is macaroni cheese, is that the same as mac and cheese?
Yeah.
So that was just like a rebranding of an old school dinner, because in Soho you were paying like 15 quid for a mac and cheese when I was living there.
But macaroni cheese is a proper dish.
What's an improper dish? What do you mean by that? Seriously, that's an interesting question.
Oh, go on then. More like onion barges that were made up for the English.
Were they? Is that a thing?
Apparently so, yeah. Like you go to India, you can't get onion barges. I don't know what you're talking about. Allegedly, I heard on the internet.
Well, there was an Indian family. Their surname was Singh, which means strong as a lion. And that's why most of them are called Singh. And the women is Kaur, which means pretty as a princess. And we had a few Kaurs at our school. And unfortunately, when word got out that it meant pretty as a princess, one of them was. But Coldit Beerin, he lived down the road from me. This was when there was like 5 Indian kids in the older Dartford. And we used to go out on our BMXs and that. And then they'd go, do you want to come around for some food? And look, my mum was a terrible cook. Absolutely terrible cook. Awful food. I hated every single thing. She made great desserts. She made fantastic desserts. But, you know, God, Mum. I felt a bit sad for her because my old man used to take the piss out of it and my brother would just go, oh, really? So dry, my brother. But I went in his house. I'm only about like 8 or 9 years old and she's come out, darling, that was the most amazing fucking Chinyang clang that. No, oh, there's more, is there? No, later I will. I've got to do this. Thank you, love. Why don't you go to sleep, darling? All right, love. Good night, darling. Thank you. Akon Charan. I tell you, if you're single, get yourself a nice Cambodian bird. It's fucking bliss. It's just incredible. It's like I mean, it's probably because I've had a string of very bad relationships, mainly because I was the common denominator. But I've landed on my feet here. It's every bird I've left, I've never been left by a bird. And every time we finally got to splitting up, as soon as I managed to get them out the house after that 20-hour chat they wanted about it, I would just fall to my knees and go, fucking wicked, I'm fucking single again. And I'd be over the moon. If I lost her, I'd be devastated. If I lost you, I'd cry my eyes forever. My life would be nothing without you, darling. Thank you, love. What? All right. No. Knyom yor lani. Knyom kern internet. All right. I'm sorry, people. See you, love. Do you need me to water the plants? Yeah. Okay, nice one, love. Sorry about that, people. She wants a bit of attention. She had a horrible day. Dottie's on the firm. Hello, Dottie. Well, what it is, Mr. Enfilade, they're traditional women. And they, you know, when I've been with her for about a year. When I met her, she couldn't speak English, and I couldn't speak Khmer. I mean, I still can't really. I can blag basic conversation. But I said to her, "What do you want?" And she said, "I want a house. I want a family with you. I want children." I said, "Oh, I'll think about it." And then I sort of said to her, "Look, I ain't getting any younger. I'm not going to have children until I know that I can financially support them, because I've been through that and I ain't putting kids through it again." And I said, "I'm getting on a bit, you know, looking after kids." And she looked at me like I was mad. She went, "You won't be looking after children." She said, "You're a man." I was like, "Eh?" She said, "No." She said, men work and earn money. The woman looks after the house and the children. It took me about 2 seconds to go, "Yeah, all right, then let's do it." In that case, and she stands by that to this day. If I pick up a mop or something, she looks at me. It's like it's feminized me. No, that's not the right word. What is it? What's the word?
Emasculated.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like, it's makes you don't like it. So what are you doing? You're meant to be a man. I'm like, sorry. How's that? She's like, that's better. It's a joke. It's a joke. Just a joke. Just a joke. There's the word. That's the word. There you go. Why don't you come on, John? Go on now. Look, I'll put the invite in. If no one comes on in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to sack it off because it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. I've done nearly 2 hours. This was going to be a one. Yeah, really, really. I've never been happier in a relationship than I am with her. I don't want to lose her. All the others, it was like, fucking hell, how am I going to get out of this one? And then it was like weighing up the, because the mad hot, what is it, Packer, the crazy hot axis?
Yeah.
They were all absolute storming hot birds. So that, they had their benefits, but they also had their, why are all the ones that are that hot? So
because they can get away with it. Because they've lived their entire life with zero accountability or responsibility because they just look like that. So everything is handed to them on a plate and they don't grow up properly.
You know what? I was thinking it's a good point you make. I was thinking about making a video about this, about how hard it must be. This might rock the boat a bit, but how hard it must be to be a woman. Now, you'd never hear me say that before, have you? But listen to this. Just hear me out. Because I may well make this video. When I make a video, I mull it over for a while so that I sort of, got something to say more than just off the top of my head. Think about life like this. When you're a bloke, right? Yeah, it's hard at school because all the hot birds, they ain't interested in you. They're interested in older blokes. They're interested in blokes 3-4 years older than them. I can remember the hot birds in my year when I was 13 or 14 being picked up by blokes who had cars, like jobs and houses, and so you're sort of insignificant, but you're a kid and you've got your best mate, JP. Hello, mate.
Yes, mate. All right.
Oh, very well, lovely. Let me just finish this little thing. I'd be interested to see what you've got to say about this. So so as a boy, although most of the girls are ignoring me and you have to end up, with the slag who everyone's had anyway, just to get any action, you've got your mate, you've got your ZX Spectrum, you've got your BMX, so you've got other things to do. Now, as a woman, first of all, you've got to get lucky in the genetic lucky dip. Because if you don't, you're just not, if you're a 4 or 5 and you're living in a world, I mean, just by going online, I'll see images of beautiful women all day long, but not just beautiful, hyper real beautiful, perfect, non-existent, in fact. And they know that men are looking at those, and they have to sort of try and live up to that. Imagine being a 14-year-old girl and having to try and live up to that. But then when you get to about 20, 25, well, I'm not getting as much attention as I used to. 30, I might have to join a dating app. 35, 40, if you ain't married and got kids or whatever, and you're going downhill. And I'll tell you what made me start. I watched that film with Demi Moore. I think it was Demi Moore, called The Substance. It's this thing where she jacks up this juice and she becomes this absolutely storming hot bird. Let me know in the chat if anyone's seen it. But imagine being a woman and going into those years in your late 30s and 40s, because women's power is their power of sexual seduction. It's not their only power, but it is one of their strongest ones. Whereas for blokes, as we get older, we tend to get more money, we tend to get more independent, more knowledge, more wit, more charm, more experience. And I think a lot of blokes don't even consider what it must be like for a woman to get old. It must be not horrific as such, but I think it takes a level of strength, mental and emotional strength, that I'm not sure a lot of blokes would have, to be honest with you. It's like, nah, you're sort of on the sidelines now. you know, you go to a wedding or something, and some 19-year-old bird comes in, and everyone's like, every bloke is like, and when you're introduced to that one of those blokes, they're like, you know, your mate goes, oh, you know, this is Helen. You're like, all right, Helen. Oh, nice. That's what you do, all right? Yeah. Well, I might catch you around later. But the 18-year-old's got 7 blokes around her. She could be talking about her fucking shoe size, and they'd be going, no, that's amazing. I said, you're really interesting. She's doing nothing but having the look she was born with and being young. Weird, isn't it? What do you think of that, John? John, are you communicating with us via sort of one of those radio ham setups? Because every time you start talking, it's all like the old, what was it, long wave, medium wave radio.
You know what it is? I've got an oscillating fan in the room here.
So have I, but mine is
yours is over there. Mine's next to me.
I'll show you. Mine is a very slick, tubular design.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I've got a proper 20 quid one.
Have you got how much?
20 quid on Amazon one.
Oh, okay. Have you not been tempted? What's that one by the Dyson? Have you seen the Dyson fan that's like
I was looking at them all because mine broke right in the middle of this heat wave. So fuck. So I had to go on Amazon. I thought, well, there's only, a week, 2 weeks left of this. Might as well just get one for a score.
Did you go on Amazon first, or did you go on Facebook free marketplace first?
No, I wouldn't go on there, bruv. No, Amazon.
Well dodge. Apparently, there's loads. Yeah, I see a story. I read a story the other day that like people say they've got like something, you know, desirable, and you can have it if you can just pick it up, but you're going to need like a transit van to get it in the back. So, you know, it might be like one of those lawnmowers you ride around on.
Yeah.
And of course, when you turn up and go left, right, off the main road, down that little cul-de-sac, and then Joe Dykey and all his mates turn out and take your van home.
Yeah. My old man was
free marketplace, but it's swapped, you know.
My old man was well into all that, especially at the end of his life. Like, he was buying tat on eBay and selling it and going, oh, made a few quid on that, boy. What, £1.50, and buying like some old plates and said, oh, made a few quid on that, boy. He took me. He went, I've got to go to Roy, get some money. Come with me. So we had a day trip from Essex all the way up to the arsehole end of somewhere up north. And it turned out when we got there, we was asking everyone. It was like everybody that we saw to ask directions was Pakistani or Indian. I don't think there are any white people up north now. And it turned out that the address didn't even exist. I was going, what's the matter with you, boy? What's the matter with you? You know, at least look on Google to make sure the road exists.
Oh, the old fella just trying to keep himself busy, bless him.
Yeah, that's all he was doing, yeah, bless him.
£2.50, look at that, from nothing. I'll tell you what, people, if you haven't seen that film, it's called The Substance. It's not a great film, but worth a watch because it does make you think. I think it's Demi Moore's career performance, to be honest with you. Have you seen it, John? You haven't, or you'd have said it, wouldn't you?
Nah, mate.
I reckon you have seen A Brawl in Cell Block 22, though, have you?
Oh, yeah. What a film that is.
Mate, have you seen it, Packer? Oh, mate.
Great film.
He's an auteur, you know, John. He's published books. He's published music. He directs and writes and DPs those films. He does a lot. That's why Hollywood doesn't go near him. When that film started, I'll tell you who put me onto it. Jed. He's a relatively new to the Scrubs, but we had a video chat about investing. Really nice bloke, actually. And he put me onto it. And so I've took his advice, you know, why not? because that director also done Dragged Across Concrete with Mel Gibson, which is another cracking movie.
I ain't seen that. I'll have to check that one out then.
So he told me to. So I didn't definitely download a free torrent and just watch it. I definitely didn't do that immediately. And as soon as I see Vince Vaughn from Swingers fame and many comedy rom-coms, I was like, hang on a minute, this doesn't bode well.
It was him that pulled me in. I thought, you ain't going to do this, mate. Oh, you ain't going to be this guy. And he pulled it right up, didn't he?
Go on, Packer.
I said, I've seen that one, Dragged Across Concrete with Mel Gibson. And what you just said, funny bloke. No.
Is Vince Vaughn in that one as well?
Is that one, isn't it?
I thought it was a black fella in Dragged Across.
Oh, hang on. So what film are you talking about now? Right.
Brawl in Cell Block 99, excuse me. But you might be right. Oh, it's the sort of thing these directors are doing. No, you're right. It's Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. But when I see Vince Vaughn in that Brawl in Cell Block 22, because first of all I didn't recognise him. I just thought, I know this fella. And then when I was like, no, not rom-com Hollywood, man. 5 minutes later, I just forgot who he was. He was that bloke. He was that character.
So good, in it? It's so good. Even the fighting, I thought, oh, this is a different kind of fighting for the films, but it fit. It felt pretty real.
Well, there's a thing about movies that I think, again, and this is a weird byproduct of liberalism. You know, when people say that, you know, politics is downstream from culture, I think people don't really think about the mechanics of how these things actually work. It's why I always defend football, because if you just say, no, I don't watch football, there's too many Africans or whatever, you can't give away territory like that in a culture war. It's madness. And when we watch movies, you want to see beautiful people. I want the women in films to be beautiful. I don't want to watch 9 minutes of some. And I want the blokes to be attractive as well. I don't want to, you know, unless the film's about an ugly man or an ugly woman, when it would make sense. And that's what cinema's always been about. It's extraordinary. It's not ordinary. I don't want to see a documentary. I'm at the cinema. This is like, wow, let's see what you can do with, you know, acting and writing. And
it's like models as well, isn't it? I mean, you want to see an attractive person modelling something so you can go, oh, that's what I could look like. That's what I would look like. You don't want to see a dwarf black girl with one leg.
Unless it was a pair of trousers for a one-legged dwarf, and then it would make sense. But in that Dragged Across Concrete, the first fight scene, I was thinking this is bordering on absurd. And then I thought, wicked. I'm glad it is, because real fights are boring. They're on the floor in like 2, 3 chest, you know, bumping each other's chests. Come on, come on, you want.
Most boring things you'll ever see, real fights. I don't know why people getting fooled by them.
I want to see choreographed, ridiculous.
I want to see backflips and everything, mate.
When he snaps back his arm, or he does it a couple of times, doesn't he? It's his signature on the ground move. Just and he's like, oh. For people who haven't seen, it's very, very.
Danny Trejo, the films he does when he has a fight, they're all like they're Quentin Tarantino-ish.
Machete, wasn't it? That was a good
Grindhouse films, wasn't it? They were sort of fake B movies from the 70s.
Where he's Machete and he grabs the guy's intestines and runs out the window with. Oh, brilliant!
And you've got that bird with one leg, but she's got a gun on it. She's got an automatic weapon on where her leg's missing, and she lifts her leg up.
Yeah, not great films. I mean, they're not. Oh, yeah, wicked film, but they're films. Exactly, they're films. I want to see stuff like the explosions. And I was watching. Who was I watching the other day? Not critical drinker. One of that lot. And he was saying explosion. I don't know who it was. Might have been Hilver, Babyface, or I don't know. There's loads of them now. But it was going the explosions and the effects. They're over now. they're over now. People don't want to see the explosions, because anyone can do them in 2 minutes themselves, and it looks good. People,
right. Okay.
people want the writing, or they want to laugh and whatever. They don't want to see the action explosions because anyone can do them. It's all been done to death. I see the new Superman yesterday.
Oh, you watched the old film?
Yeah. I didn't download it or nothing because downloading it's illegal. I watched it streaming on my laptop.
Good lad. Has he got a dog called Crypto
the Wonder Dog. I thought he was brilliant, Crypto the Wonder Dog. I loved him.
Did you like the film? Because Nerdrotic and all that lot have sort of said it's sort of all right, but sort of shit.
I agree with Nerdrotic, 100% agree with Nerdrotic, yeah. I watched him talk about it before I watched the film, and I agreed with him. It's all right, you can watch it, it's an all right film, but it does get political.
I mean, because I remember his advert, his title was "It's not woke."
It's not woke. Oh, in it.
Yeah, that's what he says. It's not woke, but it's not great.
At least Jimmy was white.
Who's that? His mate who works at the.
The Jimmy Olsen, the photographer.
That's it.
Yeah, but the boss one, the editor, black man.
Well, you've got to these days, apparently. There's quotas, isn't there? There's like Hollywood's got this DEI thing where you can't win, you can't even be nominated for certain awards unless you've got certain diversity quotas.
I mean, how can we go forward when that's still a thing? You've got to have this amount of black people and this amount of queer people, and how can you go forward as a society while that's in place? It's just communism 101, isn't it?
Yeah, changed it from class to race, or from race to ethnicity. I did love that. You know, that piano, I made a video about it. That piano player and those Chinese people were over there, and they were saying, "You can't film us." He said, "No, you're in England now, mate. We can film wherever we want." And he went, and the Chinese man called him a racist.
Yeah.
What race is that? He said, we're not communists here. And the bloke went, racist. Like, what's that race?
The communist race. Can I be a communist now? Does that mean I've changed my race?
What is it? What would that be? CINO, communist in name only. Or CIRO, communist in race only. That was madness, though, wasn't it? I mean, imagine being out in China and telling a Chinese man, "You can't film me. Bye." You're just disappeared.
You'd be disappeared instantly. You'd be disappeared. It's but the way the state, and it's. I know most police are bastards now, but it's the state to blame, isn't it? The state sent all them coppers round his house to search his house, confiscate all his gear.
Yeah, they're not following orders, are they?
No, exactly.
I wonder how powerful the indoctrination is, because you'd like to think that after about a year of arresting people because someone online said they were anxious and things like that, piano player, you know, one bloke just said that he sent him an offensive email, and they turned up like mob-handed, like it was a drugs bust or something.
It's got to be the indoctrination. I mean, when I found my dad the other week, and like the police had to come round, the police, like there was two of them that come round. There was a kid. He must have only been about 17, and his boss, he only looked about 21.
Yeah.
You're like, bloody hell, mate. You're just kids. And no wonder that the indoctrination's so bad. But even when I was in the Navy, I see how the indoctrination works. That's what I've always said.
I wonder
Go on.
I wonder what the numbers for signing up to the police are like. And I wonder what kind of character types sign up for the old bill. When I was a kid, like coming up to Christmas, PC Charlie Sims and PC. I can't remember his name. Terry something. No, it's Terry Sims. Sorry, and the other one. They'd come round my house. My old man would have a shot of whiskey with them. I've got photos of me somewhere in like their big old bill coat, the old bill hat on with the truncheon and the radios on it, sort of in front of the Christmas tree, about age 8, all anemic, white as a ghost. They'd walk around, they'd probably visit like 20, 30 houses that night just to say hello, how's everything, and they were monsters. They were like 6'4", big bloke. And they knew that we were all getting up to a little bit, if someone turned up at the house with like a nice telly or something, we weren't like, oh, you just want to sell it cheap, do you? We knew it was nicked, but you bought it because you're the black and white telly you'd had since 1974. Your old man can't keep hitting it anymore.
Probably because they was from the manor as well.
They absolutely were, and that got stopped. When I lived at Dartington Art School, I lived in, it was part of the college. The college owned the buildings. They were called the police houses. There was 4 of them, and they were right next to the police station. And I just remember one night thinking that, these days, you live as far away from where you work as possible because you don't want to be seen around that town. And you've only got to go back 20, 30 years, and the Gathers lived pretty much on site.
Yeah. I wonder if that's by design as well.
No, it was. That's what I'm saying. It was put in. There was complaints made, and so they said that there'd be no more of that official police housing because it was all too. I'm not going to improvise the crumbs of details I've got left.
No more communities policing themselves.
It was something like that. Yeah, you couldn't live in the same area that you policed. I don't know whether it's
disgusting, isn't it?
Something. Well,
so you
regardless of how disgusting it is, it's just what does that say about the society?
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of been. We've always said things are going to get worse before they get better. But I never thought it would be things like the old bill. It's laughable. How does anyone see these things that happen and think that makes any sense at all? You've got the whole grooming gang thing that they were totally complicit in, and then you've got them arresting people for retweeting Lawrence Fox's pride flag, accidental, historical, when it made the old. And imagine being a cop and they cuffed that old bloke who was ex-military, so he put his life on the line for the country. No, we're arresting you because someone said that your Twitter post made them anxious. No, at that point, actually, mate, I've just said, I'm going home. I'm done. But it makes me think there must be a slither of the population, and I know it's a bit of an obvious take, but the ones that were bullied at school or whatever, they're the ones who are like, I'm going to be a cop, or I'll start telling people what to do.
The cop pulls you over and says, do you know why I've stopped you, sir? And you say, well, did your parents not love you, or were you bullied at school?
When I left the mob, I was thinking about joining the coppers, and I've got all the papers and that. And I was like, wow. If I join the coppers, how am I going to talk to my family and friends?
Everyone I know. John, have you ever had that one? I remember years ago. Hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure these are all up to date. You'd go out, it'd be a Friday night, you've got all your mates with you, someone's going to have some Charlie, someone's got some acid, usual Friday night out for a bunch of 18-year-olds. Dotty, I've just seen your donation, thank you, love, it's very light tonight. If anyone does want to give me some money for my spectacular stream, I'd appreciate it. Dottie, I'll put that on the screen in a minute, and you'll get a video reply later. Thank you, darling. And I'll give you a video reply to the one I forgot. I only saw that today, but you probably saw that earlier. Anyway, so Friday night, here we go, loads of birds. We're going to have a cracker. We knew we were the lot that when we turned up in that booze, everyone was like, oh, bollocks, they're here. No one's getting access to any of the birds, And then your mate John, he's got someone with him that you don't know, and he's like, oh yeah, I've brought my cousin with me. He's Robert. He's a good lad actually. And you're like, oh, all right, Robert, nice to meet you. What do you do? And he goes, I'm a policeman. And everyone goes.
You say that. I remember when they're going, I'm a policeman. They was just as bad, if not worse, than everyone else on the Charlie and everything.
Yeah, I mean, there was a geezer over my road, and we had a couple of gardens, indoor gardens on the go, and I was around there once. I didn't do any of the selling. I was just doing the gardening. And an old bill car's pulled up outside, like marked old bill car. And I'm like, the gamblers have just turned up outside. He went, yeah, they're scoring. And I went, I'll leave it out. And he put all the good stuff. He's just shoved it all under the sofa, got it all out of the way, pulled out all the swag, no one wants it. And the coppers have come in, fully uniform, and he went, oh, it smells nice in here. And he went to me, don't worry, mate. He goes, we blah, blah, blah. And then the other copper was with him for a joke. He went, I had all the good stuff, the old bill here, me and his old I got nicked once. I had 20-pound rocks on me. And I skipped bail. I got caught about 6 months later. They took me to Torquay that day. And in court, I was ready to go. I had my bags packed. I had a bung, I had some preparations in the bank, so to speak. And the judge just went, Mr. Dangerfield, for possession of 0.2 grams of crack cocaine. I thought, where'd the other 19 stones go? Thanks, but wicked. He went 1 year suspended. Go on, piss off. I thought, lovely. But they're either using that or selling it. And I can't, can you imagine being an old bill back there? I've got some crap, let's give it a go. I quite like this.
I would imagine there are loads of them on the take who are users, who are on the take. Which, to be honest, I'd be all right with if they were keeping our country and our societies safe and clean, and proper societies where your wife and your daughters could walk the streets at night. That'd be fine then.
You wouldn't care, would you? Because your mates do it, and they get on with their lives and that. But it's I don't know. The Spanish chicken said the Sweeney, the only time the cops were okay. Long Good Friday.
Put your trousers on, son, you're nicked.
What's that?
Put your trousers on, son, you're nicked.
Is that a line from the Sweeney's?
Well,
John Foyer, what a bad boy.
Yeah, I used to love it. The thing with me, though, is always like, Mum, can I stay up and watch a Sweeney? And every week she'd go, yeah, of course you can. I'd lay down, in front of the fire, ready for it. I don't think I ever see one. So, John, how old were you when you actually got as far as getting the paperwork to join up?
Mid to late 20s. Yeah, mid to late.
Was that because you'd been in the Navy, and is that the sort of thing people do when they leave the Navy? I don't, I'm not saying there is a connection, or is there?
I was just looking into it as another. I was just looking into it. I thought that looks like a cushy job where you don't do fuck all and get a monthly wage for sitting in the car on your ass.
Or zooming around at 110 mile an hour with your lights on.
Exactly. Or getting into proper crime scenes and
when you're getting up
things
to
like that.
Yeah. Charlie makes a great point. Charlie makes a great point. Sometimes when those drugs go missing, they're being used to put in other people's
You know it, yeah.
Good call, actually, Charlie. Good to see you, mate. You know what? I could actually, if I was like, detective inspector, where you're looking into things that are actually going to change lives, I can see that. But I just could not go through all that other stuff.
Exactly. That was a big thing. If you could go straight into inspector, like a detective, and go to proper crime scenes and try and take people off the streets.
Yeah.
I would have done straight in there. But it's that you've got to do 2 years on the beat first in uniform. I was like, fuck that. What? my life chasing people that have thrown a cigarette on the floor and littered and fucking speeded at 40 for a 30. And, mate.
Yeah. And not only that, all the DEI hires you got with you, you got that 4'12" bird, like a little bowling ball. That's your partner. She's looking out for you. There's that line in one of the Dirty Harry films when it's one of Cagney or Lacey. I can't remember what one. The Dirty Harry film with the female assistant? I think it might be Magnum Force, actually. I don't know. Dirty Harry they're questioning her. So what have you done?
I think that's the first one. I think that's the first one. I think that's the first Dirty Harry.
It might be, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was, but it might be. But then Clint Eastwood really starts giving it to her. And they say, oh, calm down. What's all this? She says, well, if I fuck up and make a mistake, it's on me. He says, yeah, but out there, if you fuck up, I get killed or something like that. And that's when you're partnered up with someone who can't run 10 meters, can't fight to save their life. And you can't go to your boss and say, I can't go out on the streets of London with that fella. I just can't. That ain't happening.
Yeah. I was saying to someone the other day. Oh, sorry, go on.
Thank you, Doc. You just said a great stream, Chris, and the best string of guests tonight. It was also good to see Pizzle so happy. Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
It was, yeah.
Thank you, Dotty. Go on, John.
Yeah, I was saying to someone the other night because there's a video of that woman copper got punched in the face and she's screaming and crying with all blood coming out of her nose and going, he's done in my face. He's broken my face. Oh, my face, my face. I went, well, when I joined the Navy, I served with women like that in the Navy. That's because that's what women are like under stress.
They're not natural fighters, are they? I think it's fair to say.
And they can't lift. They can't carry. I always remember there was a thing we had to do for a training exercise. We had to jump off and swim across this thing in the sea. And every single one of them jumped in, like gingerly, got in and went, oh, I can't do it. And I was all crying. I was like...
What, in the Navy?
Yeah, that's a fucking...
In the water.
I've got to go to war with you, have I? I can't do it. Oh, someone help me. And then when you get on the ships, they're all shagging their bosses anyway, instead of doing their job.
Is there a limited sort of supply of females on boats so they sort of get
there was, and they're going around everyone on there anyway.
I think
shagging their boyfriend in quotes. They're shagging everyone and sucking off the others.
Yourself included, Mr.
No, not me. I won't go near them. Dirty bits.
How do we sign up for the Navy?
Honestly, you don't want to know, mate. You don't want to go in any of them. They join up and they're all like pretty little dainty things. And within 6 months of sitting on their fat asses eating pizza, they're proper pigs, mate.
Don't hold back, son. Let it out.
I hated women. I hated the fact that women were allowed on the ships. I hated it.
I think the women have got a place in the military. I think there's things in the military women will do better than men.
Absolutely.
I think they can keep calm.
Absolutely, which is how it was before they put at sea. They had the perfect jobs then, which they'd done well. And as soon as they went, women have got to go to sea, we're all equal. Are they? Have you served on a ship at sea then, have you? Oh, really wound me up.
Yeah, I remember. I was talking to a leftist mate of mine. He's not really, but he's one of those sort of naturalised leftists. They'll tell you he isn't political, which means he's left. You know, he's a liberal. That's what that means. And I said to him, we were talking about this men and women in the military. I said, you know, they're great at all that communications. They can stay calm, and I've got no problem with that. I said, but you tell me this: you're a soldier, front line. You're doing a reconnaissance. You're going to get dropped by an helicopter behind enemy lines. You've got to do some reconnaissance, find out where blah 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 is, report that back, and then get out. You can go with a team of 20 blokes or a team of 10 blokes and 10 women. Which one do you choose? Expecting him to say, well, obviously 20 blokes. He went, it really wouldn't make a difference to me. I was like, so when you can't walk and she can't carry you, you're just going to have to stay there.
Mate. Exactly. And that's all exactly. When you've done your footing and you can't walk, you're expecting that little girl to carry you and all your equipment, are you? Oh, mate. While she's sucking off your mate round the corner.
Just getting back to that one. Look at what Denise Moniz has dropped into this can of worms. I've heard stories of guys running prostitution rings with these women, or the men all get sacked because they fuck the same ex-stripper. I don't really know what that means, Denise Moniz, but it's lovely to see you joining in, though. Any help with that, Packer or John?
I don't know.
No idea. No.
Dennis, are you suggesting that, say, men in the military are working as pimps for females in the military? Is that what you're suggesting? I don't know.
Don't know.
And Dennis said, good. Peter said, excuse me. But there you go. All right, John, listen, I'm going to turn this in, let the missus get some sleep. I've had the neighbours complain because they're about some barang who's just talking to himself at 4 o'clock in the morning.
In his pants.
Oh, it's detail, I'll have you know. I'll let you go, John. Thanks for coming on, mate. Always puts a smile on
love you,
your face.
boys. Big up, Packer. See you later, Danger. See you later, Scrubs.
See you later, mate.
Give JP some love in the chat, people. If that hasn't put a smile on your face, I don't think anything will. Look. So Dennis has said, yeah, that is apparently. He's suggesting that male military people are pimping, making a few quid off the females. That's a very peculiar turnout. Parker, what do you make of tonight's stream, son?
It's a good crowd, right?
Yeah.
Lovely to finish on the voice of JP, who is the voice that welcomes everybody to the stream when they get here.
Yeah, it's great stuff there.
So it's like everyone.
I thought I was too tired, but because I promised yesterday, I thought I'm not gonna not do it. But now I've got to do some writing, and it didn't go well last night. What I usually do is I watch a movie after the stream, just to sort of let me calm down a bit, you know, because this isn't me. It's quite psychologically demanding to maintain two, sometimes 3 hours of talking and listening. So when I finish, I can't just start writing because it's just words and madness. So I usually put a film on, watch about half of it, and I like having a film on when I'm writing. Music, no, because I sing along. Documentaries and things, no, I get distracted. But a movie, I can just do some writing and then just watch something that's interesting and then get back to the... Anyway, someone told me to watch Claude, what was it? Harold and Maude, and it weren't my cup of tea really. It's about this weird young kid who keeps pretending to kill himself to wind his mother up, which was quite funny. And then she tries to marry him off, and he, like, when the bird comes to I won't bother telling you, but it just weren't my cup of tea. And I just woke up with my head pressed on my keyboard about 8 o'clock in the morning. Not a nice way to sleep, especially at my age. When I tried to stand up, right, I tell you what, I've walked to the toilet literally like bent over because I needed to get there, but I couldn't. Not ideal.
Yeah,
Linda has gifted a membership, so someone's got that. So whoever's found, check your membership status, people, because someone's got that. Nice one, Linda. Marciano Caprascinatatu. Lovely to see you as well, love. What was I going to say? What was I talking about, Paco? Were you listening?
It was IR that got the membership. Yes, obviously I was listening. We were talking about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so check out that membership because there is actual members perks these days. We have voice chats. I'll do one tomorrow because I probably won't stream tomorrow night. I'm killing myself, people, through too much writing, working, and streaming. I'll probably have tomorrow night off. But I'll do a members, and it's all rank. There's free levels of membership, but it's for all of them. So look out for the post. Set it up so you get notified of YouTube notifications, and then you just click the link. If you're a member, you'll see it. If you're not a member, you don't even see the post. And then nearly everyone has had problems with their mic and headphones, but then I did as well. The first one I did, I could hear everyone else talking, but they couldn't hear me. But it's really nice, just a casual little chat, 30 minutes, hour and a half. So yeah, happy days. For Carl, what
I was
were you
in there and
doing?
didn't say anything, but it don't matter because it's me.
Say it again?
I said I was in there and didn't say anything, wasn't I? Because we might work.
Yeah, you had that problem. You did have that problem. Zeit,
Me
guys.
said,
Oh,
well.
no, we've done that one. Oh, yeah, that was that one. Hang on. We've done that one. Thank you, John, for that. Thank you for that one, Linda. Let me grab something. Let me grab something exciting for you. Oh, hello, Litland. You all right? How was last night's evening with your mate? I can't see you at the moment. How did his evening go yesterday, Packer?
All right, speak.
It went good.
It went good.
What did you do? Did you play computer games?
Yes.
Hang on, I want to be able to see her. Let me see him. Man, where is he?
Yeah, come here.
You're getting older. I can see you. You're getting older. You're looking older. Has your voice broken?
Not really.
A bit, yeah.
It has a bit, isn't it? Oi. Do you talk about girls?
What the no?
Bye.
Yeah, that done him, didn't it? All right, Packer, I'll let you go, mate. I'll see you for a debriefing in a minute. Oh.
Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Scrubs.
Hang on. Cheers, Packer. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Ta-ra, mate. Give Packer some love in the chat, people. I'll tell you what, I know I say it every time, but it just doesn't feel right when he's not here. And thankfully, he's been here for most of the streams, but it's always like that in life. It's so, if I'd have tried to arrange something like that, I fancy a co-host. I just don't think that would have ever worked, which is why I probably never thought of it. But that sort of happened organically. It's weird that he doesn't say a lot, but when he does, it really works. And I'll tell you now what I said to him yesterday. The thing is, if I run into a brick wall, if I just don't know what I'm talking about, especially recently because my brain's been overloaded with doing too much work and writing, I can just turn to Pack and go, what do you make of that? And just have a little minute breather. Do you know what I mean? Just a little bit of time, recalibrate, and then talk about something. If he's not there, what am I going to do? Just go, give us a minute, people. It would be ridiculous. So it's very much appreciated. There you go. Loads of love in the chat. And I do really appreciate the joke about it being Packer's show. I see it on the old Waffle show and that. I've seen it in 42's chat as well. Good stream tonight, Packer. Shame about your co-host and all that. No, I love it. It's taken in the way it's intended. Don't worry about that. We haven't had this one for a while. Listen, people, thank you very much. Like I say, I probably won't stream tomorrow night. I might do, I don't know. But I'll try and get one of those Discord voice chats in. So if you are a member, just look out for the posts. It will, if I do it, it will likely be about, I'd say about maybe midday or 11 o'clock UK time. That's a guess. You might as well ignore that because who knows what's going to happen to my day tomorrow. But well, we'll see. Here, check out this. I've got something for you to listen to as the show ends. We'll have a bit of that. We'll have a bit of that. We'll have a bit of that. I'll press that, and then I'll go bosh.
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive, selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green-looking skin, and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we want to eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. In a room, vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go.
Nice one, Zeitgeist. Much appreciated, mate.
We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stare your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, "We love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet."
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
I mean, it's weird because so was I. Hello, Mark. Right, I'm glad I've got you before you go. I hope you got my messages because we've got a complete, sorry, people, Mark works with me. We've got a complete change of plan and it's for the better and you're going to be over the moon. And yeah, trust me. So I just thought you might do some work over the weekend and go, "Oh, I prepped all this." And then I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, you didn't need to do that." So, not that you would, but I just didn't want you to waste your time. But when I talk to you Monday, Tuesday, you're going to go, "Wow, it's all changed. The whole scene has changed." Anyway, that don't help anyone else. Pack has dropped a lady Godiva. Look at that, bless him. He says, "Cheers, Chris. Easiest gig of my life." Thank you as always. See you later, Scrubs. Amazing, good call. There you go, JP, the welcomer. Oh yeah, good. I'm glad. I just because we talked about making spreadsheets and all that, I thought you might get a bit bored or something. I think I might as well do that. And then I'd say, no, don't need it. I am still in Bongo land, yeah. It's beautiful here. It's beautiful, wonderful people, no trouble. And I can afford to eat and buy the missus some land. What more can you ask for? Look after yourselves, people. Look out for the notification for the Discord voice only. It's a nice little chat. Look after yourselves. Take care. And a massive hoit. Hoit. Ah!